And welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Hopefully you've all had a wonderful weekend. Welcome back to some Rogue Actions. Real quick, obviously, guys, apologies for last week not having a Rogue Actions episode. Real life happened. Don't want to get into details here on the video, but there was just nothing we could really do about it. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens, guys. But appreciate you guys being understanding and flexible with that. And more importantly, we are back and we are in action. Ram, how's it going, man? Happy Monday. How's your weekend? How's life, man? How's it going?
Weekend's not been too bad, obviously just finishing up Conquest and relaxing a little bit, enjoying my time off from my new job, my crazy job now.
Nice. Are you settled in pretty well? Let me ask this more importantly. Do you like this one better than the old one?
Oh, I love this job.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh God, it's not even a comparison.
Nice. Good to hear, man.
I think a big part of it is obviously I love Florida. I've always wanted to live here, and I love the God. When you could wake up in the morning and it's 65 degrees and it's nice and just cool and relaxed. I mean, obviously it's gonna get worse over the summer, but right now this is just great weather.
Yeah.
Not freezing my non-existent balls off.
It totally explains, if you guys haven't seen, by the way, part 1, you need to get over there right now. I pushed the wrong button. You need to get over there right now. You also need to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to Rambam's channel as well, guys. But more importantly, you need to get over there. You can check out that link down below in the video description, everybody, for part 1 over on Ram's channel. That Florida weather must explain why his Ram rage was what it was today, guys. Get over there, check it out ASAP. Yeah. Once you have done that, then you can come back over here and check out part 2, which we are going to start right now. Ram. Topic number 1 for today for us here is Amazing Amidala. We're going to be talking a little bit about Queen Amidala today. Her kit, we're going to do a little Making the Grade episode, and some stuff that might be coming down the pipeline with her. Before we get into details, though, guys, we have a little video clip here to get us started, just to kind of showcase just how amazing she is. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, she is absolutely amazing. Let's go over and check it out, shall we, guys? It's basic for arm. Wait for it. Auto and drink, baby! Wait for it. Auto! Oh shit! Oh shit! What? No! 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 What is happening? That's not auto and drink. Not auto and drink. I guess Yoda, because he's got now. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert, everybody! We lost. even though we beat Queen, like we were able to defeat Queen Amidala in that. And FYI, guys, that is from Sector 5, okay, in Conquest. So that's not in GAC or anything like that. Where I imagine she's actually going to be more powerful, probably. But that is in Conquest. Yeah. And even after beating her, we still got wrecked. Like, she looks absolutely amazing at this point, guys. Ram, first and foremost, what are your thoughts on her from what you've seen in Sector 5? And then where do you see her going in terms of a grade at this point in time? For those of you guys that don't know, we do a little grade here on their kit, A, B, C, D, that kind of thing. Where would you grade her kit currently, Ram? And then we're going to expand on that just a little bit. What are you thinking, man?
So where would I grade her kit without the Grand Arena Amis?
No, you can take that into account. I think that's fine to take into account. Okay. When I say where she is currently, that kind of is implying without additional characters that might be coming to the game, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, just looking at her kit and knowing what little we know from Sector 5, and obviously that doesn't have the Omicrons active. As far as I'm aware, it does not have the Omicrons active. And obviously it's probably not the best team that's around her. Gosh, she's easily an A. Easily an A. She's top tier. She's going to be a massive difference maker in GAC specifically, especially with her Grand Arena Amis. God, she slaps. She slaps hard. I mean, who wouldn't want to be slapped by Natalie Portman? Let's be honest, right? But The whole decoy thing is a pain in the butt. I mean, put it this way. I normally will go in with either Jabba or JMK for a lot of like final boss type things, just to kind of, because most of the time it's either don't use a Galactic Legend or don't use Jedi, Sith, or Unlicensed Force user. So I'm like, okay, Jabba will work, or don't use, put in something with JMK, and JMK will kind of keep them alive because of all the protection stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just do that. No, it did not work. It did not work like that. I had to kind of go in. Shout out to Bit Dynasty, Swiggo for Life website. If you go there, it tells you all the feats and kind of teams they recommend using. I went there and he recommended using a dash team with Cat.
Interesting.
And that was a one shot. As soon as I put that in there, it got all the feats done with the exception of obviously Bo-Katan Mandalore.
Wow.
I was able to do that, and it was so easy. It was easy. Now, obviously, you had to have Zealous Ambition disc.
Right.
That's a huge perk of having dash. He just one shots people, but you had to kind of think outside the box with her. And so if that's kind of thinking further ahead, she stops JMK without her Amis.
Yeah,
she stops JMK and Jabba without Amis. That's gonna be rough. Now, I think like Slacker or Leia or something could still probably take her out, but
I like what you mentioned in terms of thinking outside of the box, so to speak. So we're gonna look at one particular highlight of the kit here, guys. And they really alluded to this a lot in the post. We're not even gonna go into the kit just yet. But in the post, they talked about how they said, is this text correct? She grants an enemy advantage. And yes, that is absolutely correct, guys. They literally want to have you essentially have kind of some unique mechanics happening in the kit. And I think this is great on their part. CG's been doing this a lot lately, like with, for instance, Keller and Beck and the whole protection-based stuff with that. They obviously did a lot of things with health-based damage as well, true damage. I really love where they're going with a lot of this stuff. And this kit, by the way, guys, this specific thing that they're alluding to, that is in her leadership. You can see this here in her kit. Where basically, so they start losing a lot of their stuff, their stats here, where it says whenever an enemy critically hits an ally, they lose negative 5% crit damage, defense, offense, up to max negative 50% till the end of the encounter. So basically, it's just making her more survivable as the battle continues on, which I think is great. Again, just the whole concept of thinking outside of the kit right now, or outside of the box, I should say, is great on CG's part. I think that they've done an amazing job with this, and she just looks amazing. You had said, Ram, you said A, correct?
Yeah, easy A.
Easy A. Yeah, I agree. I actually would almost go A+ at this point, if not for one particular reason. I kind of want to hold off on that plus. And that is because, again, they've alluded to this in some of their posts, guys, that they also are going to be having 2 additional new characters coming out that are going to specifically go with Amidala. And they weren't even in Conquest yet. Those were just standard characters that we saw in Conquest. Now imagine on top of that we're going to have a Master Qui-Gon Jinn plus a Padawan Kenobi on this team too. Like, and who knows what their kits are going to do and all that stuff. But I think right now it's a minimum A. But gosh, when they come out with these 2 characters on top of that, it's going to have to be an A+, I would think. What do you think, Ram? Are you in agreement with me on this one, or am I bananas on this?
I mean, yeah, depending on obviously what the kits do, what the characters do individually, and then how they have synergy with Amidala, she's definitely going to go up a tier for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then once, obviously, we have to presume that there's going to be a datacron that's going to come out as well.
Yeah.
And that's that. Yeah. So there's going to be things that are going to make her A+, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But just looking at her kit right now, she's guaranteed hard A. She looks very, very, very good in this shot, not just because she's Natalie Portman. But I'm actually more interested for Master Qui-Gon than anybody, because if not for how is he going to be different than the current Qui-Gon that we have. Because, be real, we don't have... There's not many variations of Qui-Gon, right? You have Tales of the Jedi, which is not what we're getting, because he was not a master in that one. And then you have Phantom Menace. That's it. And the one that we have in the game is pretty much modeled after Phantom Menace. So
it's true.
Where are we getting the master form from? Because I don't know what they can kind of do differently based on looks, based on his kit, based on it. I'm interested more for him just because there's so limited amount of options that I feel like we can do with Qui-Gon.
I think there's a lot
Obviously,
they can do
Obi-Wan.
with kit. Like, so I think aesthetically speaking, I think that's where they're more limited. Maybe they put a robe on him, you know what I mean, like that.
From a cloak or something.
Yeah, but from a kit standpoint, his original version is pretty limited. I could easily see. So, for instance, like with Padawan Kenobi, I could see him being kind of like Jedi Knight Anakin with retribution, because of the fact that like he got justice for Qui-Gon when Maul killed him. I could see a lot of like retribution aspect type stuff in his kit, but Qui-Gon in particular was a protector. So I would imagine he's going to have a lot of support-driven role kind of stuff. Maybe along the lines of a healer. I don't know if I would go as far as a healer per se, but I could see a lot of foresight in his kit, which obviously the original version has that as well.
Yeah, currently.
But that's in a leadership role. If they bake that into his unique, then that's a little bit different. Kind of like with Keller and Beck. I think they're going to put more of the core aspects of him as a character into the unique versus the leadership. But I could also see him doing kind of like for instance, like what Hermit Yoda does with his undispellable buff, the Master's Training. I could see him doing something like that. Again, he's a master Qui-Gon. I could see him putting something like that on each of his characters over time that give them mad stat bonuses and stuff like that too. So I think there's a lot of potential out there. I think he's just not going to be a very attack-based character, where his original version is a support character, but in my opinion, he's really more of an attacker than a support character in that particular kit. I could see him being kind of like a combination of like Watt / Hermit Yoda, that kind of a scenario. But I do think there's a lot of potential there for variations on what he has, at least. So... But let me know, guys, down in the comments. So, first of all, what grade would you give Queen Amidala? Are we on point with an A, currently leading towards an A+ with the new characters that are coming out afterwards as well? And then B, what do you see? What kind of roles do you see Padawan Kenobi / Master Qui-Gon playing within that kit? Obviously, there's a lot of speculation that can come along with that. Intrigued to see what you guys have to say in the comments below about that, everybody. All right, Ram, moving on to part number 2 of today's topic. That is the Bane nerf. So this has been obviously a key point of speculation, guys. Bane got dropped and has been doing just mad stuff in GAC in particular. We have seen that on our stuff with our streams and things like that. Ram, you said you do not have Bane activated yet, correct?
I have him on the main account.
I
do not have him on the OG account. So
gotcha.
I do have Bane, and God, oh, he's just so good.
He really is. So we're gonna go ahead and start here, guys. First of all, by taking a look at the thoughts from the developer. So they put out a post about this, which I think is essential. So there was a lot of speculation, obviously, on the fact that he was way OP. He was too powerful. He's beating GLs. The thing, we discussed this obviously in our previous video. The big thing that we were worried about was the whole rule of 2 with him and a non-GL character. We thought everything else was fine in his kit. We've talked about that at length. That was the part we could see potentially getting nerfed. But we have this release here, guys. This is from Meathead, the community manager, and they say it twice here, guys. They say it twice in this post that they are happy with Darth Bane, very happy, might I add, and they just wanted to let us know those thoughts. To me, this screams that they actually intended for him to be used in a lead with another leftover Sith. They just didn't broadcast that to us. They wanted us to kind of figure that out on our own. And we talked about this before in the other video. I think this is great, because now if you have all those Sith, you have every single Sith utilized in your roster at this point now. Between Malgus and Traya and C, and then now Bane +1. Like, I literally can use all of the Sith on my roster. I think it just makes so much sense from a roster efficiency standpoint. What do you think, Ram? Do you think that this was intentional on their part, that they kind of misled us a little bit, or was it intentional that they just missed it? Or what are your thoughts, man? Let me know what you're thinking.
So I'm torn, right? There's part of me that's like, I think that they intentionally misled us. Like they told us, hey, he's supposed to work with C, he's a C lifter type thing. Mm-hmm. And then knowing that we're going to do what the community always does and figure things out on our own, and then realize, oh crap, we don't really even need him with C. He just destroys things on his own. Yeah. With a leftover Sith that we don't use, like Sith Assassin or Maul. So I think there's that element. But then the other part of me is like, how many times have we been let down by CG? And we know that they don't test a lot. Yeah. So maybe they just didn't test it. But I'm less on that. I'm less on that spectrum right now, just because of this post. Because, like they said it twice. They said we kind of had our intentions of where we thought that he was going to land, and this is kind of lining up with those. And we're very happy. We're very pleased with where he's at. So we're keeping an eye on a couple of things that we might maybe look at doing. But for the most part, we really like where he's at. I love that. Yeah. I love that they're not really looking, from what it looks like, they're not really looking at messing with him too much. I think he's in a very good spot. I think that he's able to defeat a lot of things, but he's also able to get beaten pretty easily. Obviously, it's going to change with his datacron, right? Once his datacron has been out for a little while, he's going to really do some damage. But for now, I think right now he's able to beat certain things. He's not able to beat other things, and that's fine. He's obviously a lot better in GAC than he is in some other spots, but that's fine too for a GAC Omicron character. I'm very, very happy with his kit. I'm very happy with how he's working. You raised what I think is a very interesting point on the datacron. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick, guys. Here, so with his datacron, I know this is a little small for you guys, but it says start of Bane's turn, all enemies gain accuracy up, advantage, health steal up for 1 turn until they receive damage. Summon this is the part I think is really interesting. Summon a Sith Trooper in the ally slot, I should say, if it's available and there are no other Sith Trooper allies. So where this gets tricky is the mechanics of when things happen and how things read, because a lot of people were questioning, like, well, is this going to ruin the rule of 2? And I don't think it will, because of the way that this is worded. Like, the event starts, so rule of 2 becomes active, then he summons the summon. So rule of 2, I think, the way that I at least am reading this, should still stay in play. It should still work. And then the big aspect of this, guys, I think the biggest thing, other than the trooper here, is whenever he uses Essence of Dominance, he also siphons crit damage as well. And damage enemies deal is reduced by 25% to Bane. Like, this Cron is going to be insane. It's not quite the same level as, like, the Sidious one, for instance. But I think it's going to make a big difference in terms of his viability and what he can do. Ram, with that being said, so again, I think the big controversy here is the rule of 2 with a leftover junk character. If this datacron enables Bane to beat every single GL in the game, right now he's beating a lot of them, but if this allows him to beat every single GL in the game, do you think that they might backtrack a little bit and say, you know what, okay, maybe we do need to nerf this down a little bit? Or do you think they're going to say, you know what, it's just for 3 months, who cares? No, I don't think they'll backtrack, honestly. Just because if they can prove that it's the datacron, or if he's not beating everything right now. He's beating a lot of things, and that's good, but he's not beating everything, right? If he does manage to beat everything with his datacron, so be it. They have done this before with all these other different datacrons for these GLs, where it's impossible to beat them without using another different GL.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're going to see Bane on defense, right? I don't see Bane ever being on defense, just because he's A, so much better on offense. B, you lose a lot of your kit when you put it, because you can't put a reduced squad on defense. You have to put a 5v5 squad or a 3v3 squad. So you're instantly destroying his rule of 2 unique right there. So I don't ever see him being on defense, which gets rid of a lot of that datacron as well. So I don't know. I don't think they'll mess with the. I think they'll just let the datacron kind of ride out. They may. I could see them maybe making some changes if he's literally beaten everything. Mm-hmm. Maybe make some changes to the datacron itself, like how it works.
Yeah, that may be.
Which I don't really think that they've ever.
I don't think they've ever nerfed the datacron.
Yeah, they've made some changes to how like datacrons are worded. Like they just did with the resistance cron. They kind of messed around with some changes to the cron itself, but not like how the cron specifically works to my knowledge. But that's certainly an option. But I think at the end of the day, they'll just kind of let the cron ride out. It's 3-4 months, and then he'll go back to being his normal thing.
I'm with you on that. I think they made it pretty clear in that post that they're pretty happy with everything. So I think if you guys have invested in Bane, like I have, and I imagine you're all very happy with that investment. Ram obviously did too on his big account. Very, very happy with those results. I think you're pretty safe in thinking that it's going to stay the way it is moving forward. Ram, I think one little other point to discuss with this though. So I think this is the first time we've had a Conquest character that literally rivals GLs. Like Cat lifted a GL team to be able to beat GLs. This is the first Conquest character by himself without any GL that can beat GLs. Like this is a massive power creep in my opinion for a Conquest character. Queen Amidala appears to be a very similar level of power creep. Do you think this is kind of just an unusual situation? Or do you think that this Conquest power creep is going to continue in the future where GLs are kind of going to like maybe to some degree lose their value compared to the Conquest characters? I'm intrigued on your thoughts on that one.
That's a very good point. I think that there is obviously a power creep coming up. Like they're wanting people to invest more in Conquest, mm-hmm. and that much is very clear from the very beginnings of Conquest when you had Maul and Cat versus now you have Bane, you have Padme, you have Darth Moff Gideon. There's certainly a different level of power there between those different Conquest units. What I will say with Bane is very unique mm-hmm. in the sense that he's beating things because Bane is just designed to beat things, right? Bane his unique is rule of 2. So he is designed to bring in one other Sith, just one other person, let them die, and then just monstrously destroy things. Most characters are not going to do that. Most characters are going to work in the sense that you have at least 2 other people with them for 3v3 or 4 other people for 5v5. Mm-hmm. Bane is not designed to be that way. Bane is designed to have just one person. So a lot of the support comes off of him. So he is naturally just going to have to be that powerful.
Right.
So I don't think that it's necessarily we can expect this from every Conquest unit where they're going to beat every single GL ever.
Right.
I think it's just kind of an inherent perk of being Bane because of his history as the creator of Rule of 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of am in the same boat. I think we just kind of got lucky that this one character is amazing, and now the sole focus of the next, 9 months of the game happens to be the next Conquest character. I'm a little surprised that she actually isn't a GL, in all honesty, but I don't foresee the next Conquest character after Queen Amidala being anywhere near this level of power. I don't think they want to make it that kind of a precedent where every Conquest character is rivaling GLs. It's just going to be an insane devaluation of of the investment that a lot of people have put into the game. I just don't see them going that far. An occasional one, yeah, maybe. But I don't think it's going to be a repeated situation kind of a thing moving forward. Let us know in comments down below, guys. First of all, are you happy with Bane, and do you think that he should stay as is in the game? And then 2, do you think the Conquest character power creep, so to speak, is something that's going to continue, or do you think this is just kind of a one-off lucky situation that we're getting 2 what appear to be very, very powerful Conquest characters in a row here? Interested to see what you guys have to say there down in comments. All right, Ram. Last but not least, we've got our Master of Memes. But before we get into our Master of Memes, guys, if you are still watching at this point, that means you like this content. Please like the video. More importantly, subscribe to the channel, guys, so that we can get monetized. YouTube is making all this money off of us, guys, and we're putting in all this work. If you've watched the videos, guys, subscribe, please. I'd really appreciate it, guys. We are under 100 subs away from getting monetized. I would really, really appreciate it, guys. Very much so. All right, Ram, go ahead and moving on into our Master of Memes. So for those of you guys that don't know how this works, we do the Master of Memes competition on live streams on Twitch Friday nights. We vote for it there on the live stream, and then we get the winner from that point on. We announce it over in Discord, and we also discuss it here on Rogue Actions on Monday as well. All right, with that being said, Ram, let's go ahead and get into today's Master of Memes. I don't know why that got cut off a little bit there, but anyway. So we've got, and I have to do it, Ram. You know what's coming. It's a Palpatine voice, guys. You know what's coming. Here we go. Palpatine, use Thunderbolt. Palpatine! Looks like Team Windu is blasting off again. Versus Afternoon Me. The lunch packed by morning me. Ram, we've got 2 quality memes here, sir. Which one do you like best, and do you think should win this week's Master of Memes?
Okay, so I had to stew on this one a little bit because there's, for obvious reasons, Pokemon one calls to me, right? It's just I really like that one. Initially, when I saw this, because I mean this was already done on Friday, so I had the unfortunate privilege of being there for the original Palpatine voice. I initially did not really like the cat one, but it stewed on me a little bit because I was like, you know, how many times have I packed a lunch in the morning? This is gonna be what I'm gonna eat today. I'm gonna do good. And then by the afternoon, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go get some Chick-fil-A or something like that. You know, screw my lunch. I don't want this. And so, like, I could relate to that one, but regardless of the Palpatine voice, Pokemon is an awesome thing. Being, you know, having Team Windu blasting off again, that's just a great callback. So I gotta go with the Palpatine one.
It makes sense, man. And I know that you're a huge fan of Pokemon. Even though they're far worse than Digimon, guys.
Oh my God.
I get the reason behind this, but I same boat, man. The afternoon me and the lunch I packed, I have been there so many times. Maybe not necessarily salad. I don't usually pack salads for lunch, but I always pack something for lunch, and then I get to work, and then I see what they have like in the cafeteria for the day, and I'm like, that looks so much better. Yeah, like I'm gonna get that. Like this meme, and literally, I think the day that I saw this, when this was posted on the Discord, I think I literally did the exact same thing, and I was like, wow, does that hit on point? Like, I literally just did that. I have my lunch in my fridge, and I didn't eat it because I didn't want it. Like, it's so on point, guys. I have to go with the cat one. As much as you guys love the voices, as much as Ram loves Pokemon, I think it's the cat one personally. Now, our votes don't matter, guys. That's just what we think. The winner, the way that you guys, the audience, voted, was, of course, the cat salad, guys. Cat salad. And because of that, this week, this is now, I believe, 3 weeks in a row, guys. Current master of memes is none other than Russ Cooks himself, guys. He's a YouTube legend over there, if you guys don't know him. Shout out to Russ Cooks. He's very well knowledgeable about salads, I think.
Of course, Russ Cooks would be the one that would do something about food.
Exactly. Guys, what do you think? Do you think this meme deserved to win? Do you think that there are better memes out there that would easily dominate Russ, which you might like, I don't know, but it would easily dominate Russ? If you guys think that you have better memes, guys, what you need to do is get over to Discord, and you need to join Discord and drop those memes in the Master of Memes channel, and then we will feature you both on the live stream on Twitch. We will shout you out on Discord, and then, of course, we will shout you out here on the Rogue Actions episode as well, guys. So get over there, do it ASAP. Last but not least, everybody, guys, we, of course, would appreciate it. I said it earlier, but again, appreciate it greatly. If you guys would like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, guys, so that you are not missing anything moving forward in the future. Ram, any final parting words before we call it a day, sir?
Always remember, guys, if Conquest starts to bite you in the butt, don't auto and drink.
Oh, that's true. And have Inquisitors, apparently. Guys, until next time, see you later. If you want to continue your journey down that Swugger rabbit hole, everybody, make sure you check out the next video.